Putin and Biden, poles apart. Threats of escalation and pledges of support illustrate conflicting views on Ukraine. On her first visit to Kyiv, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni pledges her country's unwavering support to Ukraine. Rescuers are once again searching through the rubble of destroyed buildings in Turkey and Syria after the region's most recent earthquake on Monday. Two leaders, two opposing views on the conflict in Ukraine. As the anniversary of the war approaches, Presidents Putin and Biden have given powerful speeches in Moscow and Warsaw, one nationalist, the other defiant. Putin's was also peppered with anti-Western rhetoric. No hint of questioning Russia's right to invade and a refusal to accept blame for starting the conflict.
Ответственность за разжигание украинского конфликта, за эскалацию, за рост числа его жертв полностью лежит на западных элитах. И, конечно, на киевском режиме сегодняшнем, для которого украинский народ, по сути дела, чужой. Украинский сегодняшний режим обслуживает не национальные интересы, а интересы третьих стран.
With escalation his watchword, Putin went on to announce Russia was suspending its participation in the nuclear New START treaty and might resume nuclear testing. Later in Poland, Biden rejected Putin's view of things. He vowed that Russia would never win the war in Ukraine and added that support for Kyiv from the US and its allies will not waver.
Autocrats only understand one word: no, no, no. No, you will not take my country. No, you will not take my freedom. No, you will not take my future. Brutality will never grind down the will of the free. And Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia. Never. It stands tall, and most important, it stands free.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is the latest government head to visit Kyiv and express solidarity with Ukraine in its fight for freedom and the defence of its sovereignty. Her message echoed that of President Biden in Poland, saying Italy will not waver in its support. It was Meloni's first visit to the war-torn country since her government took power in October. Earlier, Russian rockets had hit the town of Kherson, killing at least 6 people. President Zelensky said in his nightly address the attack had been the real message of Russia to the world. In Kharkiv, explosives experts are removing the remains of Russian missiles. The task has been going on for months. The city was the scene of vicious fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces, with the Ukrainian army having recently recaptured the area.
Бувають випадки, коли люди виїжджають на заміновану територію, та бувають летальні наслідки. Або летальні, або вони отримують поранення, пошкодження кінцівок.
And this in a country where hospital care has been severely reduced. The World Health Organization says 1,200 health facilities have been damaged either directly or indirectly by shelling, with 173 hospitals damaged beyond repair. Emergency teams have resumed their search through the rubble for victims following Monday's strong aftershock, which caused more buildings to collapse in southern Turkey. Structures already weakened by the devastating quakes of more than 2 weeks ago stood little chance of avoiding damage. The fire escape is all that remains of a guest house at the Mustafa Kemal University Faculty of Architecture. The rest of the building was destroyed in Monday's earthquake. There's been no respite along the Turkish-Syria border either. Monday's 6.4 magnitude earthquake triggered panic and at least 8 deaths. A hospital has cancelled operations because of damage to the structure, and some of those with less serious injuries are being treated in the area in front of the hospital. Many of the people displaced by the earthquake have not taken a shower for the past 2 weeks, with lack of wash facilities fueling fears there could be a spread of infections, particularly among children. Survivors do what they can, improvising with bottles as there's no chance of taking a shower.
At least 46 people are known to have died on the coast of São Paulo state after devastating storms in Brazil. 40 people are still missing and some areas are still only accessible by helicopters, as sections of a motorway were destroyed by extensive landslides. A record-breaking amount of rain fell on the area where millions of tourists had gathered for the long Carnival bank holiday. Further landslides on Tuesday halted the work of emergency services, trying to reach those affected. A court in Romania agreed to extend Andrew Tate's detention again. The social media influencer is being held on suspicion of organised crime and human trafficking and will remain in jail for another 30 days. The British US citizen, known for his misogynistic views, has over 5 million Twitter followers and is yet to be formally charged. It was the third 30-day extension granted by Romanian authorities since Tate and his brother were arrested in Bucharest.
After the invasion of Ukraine by the Russian army in February last year, over 460,000 refugees were registered in the Czech Republic, mainly women and small children. Today, some 300,000 remain. Most still live in hostels or on college campuses like here at Charles University in Prague. They live 2 or 3 to a room and use communal kitchen and social facilities. Ludmila, a teacher from Kharkiv, lives here with her 13-year-old daughter Yulia.
Вот мое место, вот ее место. В принципе, все для жизни у нас есть.
Ludmila looks after children aged between 3 and 12 when they come back from Czech school.
У нас есть учебники на украинском языке. Мы можем помочь деткам, которые нуждаются, потому что многие сейчас в онлайн-школах Украины еще учатся.
The aim's not just that children retain their mother tongue, culture and customs, but also that they settle better.
Как бы немного отстраняешься от той жизни, которая в Украине, но вот эти вот все события, они напоминают о себе. И тогда ты понимаешь еще больше, что ты счастлив, и мы рады, что мы сейчас на данный момент здесь.
Depression is an issue. The People in Need Association provides refugee services.
Studie ukazují, že asi 45% dospělých má projevy přímo depresí, středně těžkých nebo i těžkých depresí.
Many refugees live with Czech families. That's the case of Natalia and her sons Maxim and Nazar, who've just earned diplomas. They're enjoying their time in Czech school and learning the language well.
Not quite big place, but cozy, warm, and quite practical for us. For some time, it's quite good. So we feel comfortable here. And that's the main thing.
To mám rád třeba zahrát fotbalek s mýma kamarádama nebo zahrát se Lego nebo kartičky.
Uděláme večeře, půjdeme se do sprchy, vyčistit zuby a půjdeme spát.
Hannah was helping Ukrainians as a volunteer. She offered Natalia a place to live and they became friends.
I'm very thankful to the Ukrainians that they really opened up our hearts, made us be the best versions of ourselves by being accommodating and helpful. This is the first wave of refugees that the Czech society really helped.
Such scenes are normally associated with dry, hot summers. France hasn't seen proper rainfall for a month, an unprecedented scenario for winter. Reservoir banks are exposed. Water level indicators, usually submerged, now clearly visible. Northern Italy has experienced water levels similar to those recorded in high summer. With more dry weather forecast, tens of thousands of crops are at risk. Soil moisture warnings have been issued across much of southern Europe.
What is unusual actually is the recurrence of these events, because we experienced, as you know, a severe to extreme drought already a year ago and another one in 2018. And what is really unprecedented is indeed this recurrence pattern.
The next few weeks and months are critical. In northern Italy, much of last summer's rice production was decimated. Now efforts are underway to prevent a repeat.
In the rice sector, they are testing now new innovative agro-management strategies to basically use water in a complete different way and avoid having these peaks during a period where also other sectors need water. So adaptation is really crucial.
Recent flooding can give a false impression. In fact, groundwater levels are low and the water situation in Europe is precarious. The challenge to manage supplies in a resilient and sustainable manner.
Real Madrid came from behind to thump Liverpool 5-2 at Anfield in their Champions League round of 16 first leg. The hosts got off to a great start with 2 early goals, but it wasn't enough to stop the defending champions as Karim Benzema, Vinicius Jr. and Eder Militao each netted to condemn Jurgen Klopp's side to their heaviest home defeat in this competition.
Que hemos sufrido mucho al principio, obviamente no se esperaba de empezar el partido así. Afortunadamente, como casi siempre sucede a este equipo, hemos tenido la cabeza fría y poco a poco hemos entrado en el partido con la calidad que tenemos.
Elsewhere, Victor Osimhen scored his 20th goal of the season to hand Napoli a convincing win over 10-man Frankfurt. Giovanni Di Lorenzo added a second in the 65th minute, final score there 2-0.